Welcome, all right, welcome to the show, welcome to Invite Sent. Thank you so much for being here, all those in the chat. Wow, a lot of folks here excited to see this amazing new game coming out tomorrow. We're gonna jump into a game here shortly that you haven't played yet. Oh, well, maybe you have played the demo, but hey, I'm Bubba Gaddert. Thank you so much for being here today. Super excited for episode 9 of season 3 of Invite Sent. We're gonna jump into some fun. I just want to let you know that we'll be having some other shows coming up soon. On Friday, Zach Teep, we're going to be playing some games. Next Thursday, we're actually going to go visit the Army West Point Esports Arena on the show, the Rave Esports show, with Kevin and Andrew from Extron, and we're going to actually go through and mess around with all their stuff at the Army West Point Arena. And then we'll be also having Rob Davis, aka Street Taco, here in a few weeks coming up. And we've got a lot of other shows as well. But so glad you guys are here. A lot of people rolling the chat. If you're in the chat, say hello. Lots of people on all different platforms. We are on Kick, 2 Twitters, 2 YouTubes, 2 Facebooks, LinkedIn, Twitch. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you guys for being here over on TikTok. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're so ready for this as well, VF. I'm going to bring in our very amazing guest today, Miss Renee. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you are on a very busy schedule right now. And I'm so honored that you got to come, or you're able to come and hang out and show us your amazing game. So thank you so much for being here. I am
super
pumped.
happy.
I'm pumped. Now, we're going to jump into the game. I'm going to pull it up, and when I was talking to you before the show, I've usually always do these games where it's a 2-player multiplayer of some sort where we're playing together and we're both playing, but it's my viewpoint. But this time, I really think the DVD commentary might be the way to go here, in the sense of why you did things certain ways, and this game you've been working on for 9.5, 10 years that looks so clean and so pretty, and I'm so excited to jump into it. And this is just the demo, because tomorrow the game comes out, March 7th. Man, I want you to tell me why this game, you've said a lot on social media, but why this game is different from other games.
Yeah, I would say that Potions: A Curious Tale is quite different in that it has that cozy aesthetic, but it's still an adventure game. But while it's an adventure game, like, combat's not always the answer. So it requires strategy, like puzzle solving, like truly your wit are your greatest weapons in this game. And you can definitely figure that out just from the very first boss fight, which happens all of 30 seconds into the game.
Well, let's do it. Let's jump into the game. There's some game audio here that I'm loving. That is fun. I got it going in the chat. If you're listening, you can hear it. But it starts off. So we've got Luna. What is the basis of Luna? What is her character? Where Luna, obviously Luna Lovegood is one of my wife's favorite characters in Harry Potter. We had a dog named Luna, but Luna to you, where did that name come from?
Yeah, so Luna's a 12-year-old witch, and growing up, born in the late 80s, early 90s, definitely there's a lot of affection for witches and wizards and high fantasy as well. And something that's very powerful and feminine is like the concept of the moon, right? Like, women are connected to the moon a lot. And so I thought that Luna was a very fitting name for her. And actually, I didn't know what her name was going to be. Her name is Girl in the code. She's just Girl everywhere. But when I got the first character design and she had that little moon on her hat, I was like, Luna. Luna is a good name for her. And I think it works really well.
I love that.
Later, she gets a companion, and his name is Helios. Okay. So they're sun and moon, and very complimentary.
Wow, this is I'm feeling educated as we play on, well, I guess Latin. Okay, thank you. So we start out with Luna in the bottom of a ship. Sounds like, as I hear it, and I wanna while I'm rolling here. We got a lot of people. We got 20 people watching right now. Please, if you're in the chat, ask any questions. This is Renee. She is the creator of this game, Potions: A Curious Tale. It is on Steam right now. The link is in the chat. The link is on the Twitter post. You can go and download the demo right now. Tomorrow, the game comes out, March 7th. Tell us a little bit about the release. Is there a price? Is it free? What's the rate for the game?
Yeah, so it launches tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, and it's going to be launching at $19.99 plus a 15% launch discount.
Nice.
However, there is a very hefty demo, probably 2 to 3 hours that you can play for free right now, and your demo save loads into the full game. So there's no risk in figuring out if this is a game for you or not, and even your achievements will back propagate.
Oh my
I made sure, especially to have such a large demo, that it wasn't going to make anyone sacrifice anything if they actually enjoyed the demo and played it a lot.
Renee, I know you know this stuff well, but man, your history, the stuff you've done for the community, for the game development community, games, all the stuff you just said made so many people happy, namely me as well. But I will say that is a huge plus from a demo to the full game. I can only think of one other game that made me excited like that was a Star Wars game where when the game is updating on your PlayStation or something, it lets you play as Darth Vader in like the snow world from Empire Strikes Back, just to get used to the game, which I know a lot of games are doing that now, but I'm super excited because if you guys are out there, there's so many people here in the chat. Please feel free to say anything, ask any questions. I'm gonna keep jumping in the game. I know we have a boss fight coming here, and I love that you've also are gonna be teaching us how to use healing, which I definitely want to talk about. Potions compared to this normal slash and shoot of video games. That this game really has a lot to stand on. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like so many, action adventure games, fantasy games, you're supposed to play as a hero, but then you're rewarded for just like slaughtering every wildlife creature you see, which doesn't feel super heroic, right? Now, that's not to say it doesn't make sense to get into combat when something is threatening you, or if there's items or something you need off of a creature, but to be rewarded for slaughtering every fluffy bunny you see just feels, not like a super heroic thing to do. And so Potions was designed around how do you make a player consider what they should fight and what they shouldn't, without making like some sort of enforced morality karma system, right? It is based around resource management. It's around your potions, and to get the rare ingredients that you need, to get the best ingredients you need, you have to be really strategic with how you engage with enemies. And once you're done with the lower level enemies, they're a waste of your resources. You just avoid them because they're not really worth it. It's also, Luna's a 12-year-old witch. She's smart and she's strong in her own way, but she can't just go pick up a broadsword and swing it around. In fact, she can't actually.
Yeah, I love this. I love this part. It's so much game development. Like right here, this knowing to get out of the way. I played up to the end of this a minute ago, and I love that I had to learn. And that's definitely game development 101. And I tried everything around here, and I was like, okay, what about these? And okay, it's forcing me to get hit to know that it's not good. Oh, and look, they damaged the swords. And you have Sinbad, which is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, so Sinbad's praising you here because in the attack that the Kraken did on you, it actually hit those weapons and damaged itself. And now you're saying, oh, wait, okay, there is a strategy I can take here. Because at first players are thinking, well, I can't pick up the swords. What am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to attack it? And yeah, certainly you get aggressive potions, fire potions and ice potions and like metal spears and such. But at the beginning, it really is about strategy of how do you survive with what you have. And it is around using the environment, using hazards around you.
So I love this. At first I like, okay, there's oil. It took me a second to realize, okay, I didn't even know he was following me on purpose, but I realized let's get some oil on him because I've seen movies. I've read books. I think I'm smart. And then, okay, I want
A
to
lot of
destroy
people go
him.
straight for the fire. It just sort of like hisses and splutters since it's wet when it hits the fire. But
Here
there
we
you
go.
go.
Nice.
Wow.
So I'm learning as we go. Look at that. I didn't swing an axe or anything. The artwork. Tell me about the artwork. This artwork on the right compared to the game artwork, obviously difference on how close we are. But who did this art, and can you talk about it?
Yeah, so having development over nearly 10 years actually means that I've had a lot of people join and leave the team. So
Okay.
Sinbad itself was done by Atlas Lin. Atlas Lin is our main character artist and animator. He did Luna's artwork, a dialogue. A lot of the dialogue characters were done by him. Sinbad's in-game animations were actually done by Roma Jensen. So
Okay.
some of the characters, a lot of the creatures were created by her. And then some of the other character art was done by Abby Snyder. So you'll see all of their work across these different scenes. And then all of the beautiful background art was done by Jake Neal. So he's been with the project almost the entire time.
So do you have a number of people who have had their hands in total in this game?
Yes. So I will note that I credit everyone, no matter if they contributed to one asset or just contributed hundreds of hours. So across all time, I've had 19 people contribute to this game.
Holy cow. Takes a village.
It takes a village.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit while we're here, and I'm learning the game. A little bit of your history. You used to be at the International Game Developers Association. Tell me about your history there, what you did.
Yeah.
People don't know. There's a lot of people here today who probably know you. That's why we've got a large viewership today. But yeah, tell us about your time there.
Yeah, so I actually didn't go to school for a game development degree. I went to school for engineering with a focus in mechanical engineering and started out in biotech because I wanted to be a biomechanical engineer and was. When I realized I could be a game developer, I decided to switch over to being a game developer. And career changes, particularly early in your career, require a bit more networking and action to prove why someone should hire you over a fresh grad that has, directly studied the subject. And the IGDA was a really wonderful resource for me back then. I went to tons of IGDA Seattle events. I networked a lot within that community. I learned things and made connections. It's really what got my career started. And so I decided to give back to the IGDA. So I joined the Seattle Board of Directors and then eventually the International Board of Directors. And then when the executive director, basically the CEO of the organization, stepped down, I took over her role for 3 years. So that was in 2019. And I know that because it was right before the pandemic.
COVID,
yeah.
I remember.
I had about 6 months to get my feet under me, and then had to change all of the plans that I had made over those 6 months. So it was a very interesting time, but it's so lovely to be able to give back to other game developers. For people who aren't aware of the IGDA, it's the International Game Developers Association. It's the largest nonprofit membership organization in the world, whose mission is to support and empower developers in achieving fulfilling and sustainable careers. So, we're concerned about the layoffs, about workplace health and safety, preventing harassment, providing resources so people can transition career roles, grow in their career roles, support each other, find the people they need to connect with to be successful. And I'm really honored that I was able to be part of the efforts to really support game developers, particularly through the start of COVID, because that was such a troubling time.
Well, I definitely want to jump into that here in a bit because we both started in the nonprofit gaming world in 2019 when I took over the foundation as well, which was Varsity Esports Foundation, now Video Games Esports Foundation. And I remember we've been on panels together and other things, and I know Joni Kraut as well, for Women in Game International, Women in Game International. We all just, there's only a few of us in gaming as nonprofits, and I really appreciate what you did and they're still doing with gaming. But I know with all the layoffs over the past 16 months, and I've been doing a lot of reading from Jason Schreiner with all the crunch and everything around gaming. What is there ever going to be a cycle where we don't have large layoffs like this every few years, or after the end of a game that comes about to be developed? And this is a heavy first question, but it's just so evident and big right now in the industry with all the layoffs. Is there going to be another one of these in 18 months or five years or whatever? And what do we do differently with our industry?
Yeah, so I think this round of layoffs and job instability is relatively unique. It's going to be something you only see every decade or so.
Wow.
And
Okay.
that's due to the causes behind it. One of the causes is interest rates on loans. That's really a boring response, but when interest rates are high on loans, it means that businesses are unable to take loans as safely and sometimes have to make business changes. One of the other reasons is COVID. COVID was actually a really wonderful time for games because there were so many people who started getting into games during the pandemic, which caused a really large boom of growth. Some companies grew unsustainably during that time. So with the growth that they underwent during that time, immediately followed by the lack of aggressive growth and high interest rates, you saw a very strong belt tightening and probably an overreaction from a number of companies because they wanted to go to a place of more financial, safety, being more conservative with their financial spend. Now, I think there's a reason that people are looking to Nintendo during this time, because they note that their most valuable assets are their game developers. So why would they lay them off? And I do think it is very short-sighted to make a lot of layoffs, because the impact that has isn't, people aren't just cogs in a machine. You can't just say, oh, I don't need this cog right now, it's a little expensive. There's huge impacts for the motivations for your team, the growth of people that you've invested in. It takes 3 to 6 months to ramp up a new employee, and so letting go of people can really damage that.
Yeah.
If you hit the space bar, you'll pick up everything around you. It's okay.
There we go. Nice.
And so I think that there's a multi-pronged approach to addressing this. First of which is providing immediate support for the game developers which have been affected. Mental health support, financial support, any support that they can receive right now is important to keeping them in a good and safe place. The other, really important thing to do is to teach businesses more about actually good financial business practices. It's really easy to overlook this, but particularly for mid-sized and smaller studios, a lot of the people who are leading these studios are game developers, and that's great. I think that means that they have passion and interest in game development, but a lot of them don't have the same business experience to realize that growing with the rate of the market can lead to crashing with the market as well. And I think that it can be very tempting to double the size of your company to try to keep up with the rate of the market. But doubling the size of your company in 2 years is a good way to have unsustainable growth. It's hard to actually support all the employees. It's hard for them to be as effective. And if you're counting on, continuous growth, well, unfortunately, it just doesn't always grow at the same rate. And that can lead you to to things like this where we end up with a bunch of layoffs.
Right.
And that's just very disrespectful to the employees. Like they are people who have invested their lives in your company. And so you should, try to treat that with the reverence
Sorry.
it deserves.
I didn't know that was Ash. I'm glad I. He's a little jumping around. Nobody's talking in the chat. I think they're as mesmerized as I am by what you're saying and this game. So if you guys have any questions, please jump in. But I just found the cutest thing ever. That was Ash jumping around.
And it died. So if you notice, you actually have a book now that has a little notification icon.
Okay.
And so that will give you more information about what just happened.
Small breath. That is so cool. Turns into ash when picked up. Okay, I see. That's sweet too. Okay. Okay, so this is my index that I don't have a turkey gobbler yet, it looks like.
You're standing near it so you can see it, but you haven't gotten any ingredients from it. Yeah.
I see. Okay, right there. Interesting. All right. And I have other things here. So that's what I've collected. So I see this feather one is things I have collected, owned, and then this book, things I'm near, is this bag of thing. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay. Yeah, I'm blown away here. Hey mom, mom's in the chat. Thanks mom for saying something in the chat. There's 40, almost 50 people here watching, and everybody's just mesmerized, I think. So I got some Zelda, Stardew Valley. I got lots of vibes here, and lots of things. The like, you can't get through this rock just yet, but it looks like it'll shatter.
Yep,
That's leading you on the path.
That little plot there with the and the plant in it. That's another thing.
Let's go. Oh, look at that! I bet this is easy. I wonder what I could put in there.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a game that's really based around wit. There's a lot of puzzles, some more obvious, some less obvious. And as you can see under that turkey, the soot sprite just had one observation for it. You pick it up and it turns into ash. The turkey has two. So
right.
How are you getting things from the turkey? What ingredients can you get from it with what interactions? And some characters have 4 or 5 interactions with them, and that's how you get super rare ingredients with higher mana values that will make more powerful potions. Because just straight killing something, that's not necessarily going to get you the items you need. You'll get pretty simplistic items there. But if you charm or scare or trick it or freeze it or light it on fire, it might give you a different ingredient.
Interesting. And so I mean, I've got this rock into the place. Is I'm gonna need a potion, it sounds like, to be able to break through. And then there's something here that won't let me cross over the turkey right now. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. And obviously I'm looking for a mushroom right now, which might be in the forest because
Granny let you know it was in the deep dark forest.
Okay, there's a rat. Okay, is it good or bad? I don't know, but there's a fire. Okay.
There's a rat and a fire. Let's see.
Okay. Can I do this? Is he stuck? Okay. No, he doesn't stop attacking. All right, let's see. Rat. Long-tailed rodent north of Panache.
I do think that most living creatures are weak to fire, though.
That's good to know. Okay, so another lead him to danger. Come on. Aha! Get wrecked, bro. Okay. And
so, even without having a potions yet, you can still be effective at neutralizing threats.
Thank you for leading me to that. I think rats are they don't like fire.
Yeah, I thought you got it. You're like, oh look, a fire and a rat.
There's I'm not just playing the game. There's a lot of things going on here in the chat. Okay, guys.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry. This game is. I'm getting some flow right here now. I've got challenge and skill happening. Oh my, there is a bull. Okay, let's understand what's happening. Oh, we got the ammo parts.
So the bull is not a creature, actually. He's the farm creature. So There's certainly
He's
interactions you can do with him, but you cannot kill him. The reason his health bar is gray is because he's immune to
That
attacks.
makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Looks like there's a spot, then I'll need to go up there with some other red thing that was blocking. Okay, so I need to go get some. Ooh, yeah, I need to go get some mushrooms. So we need to go back. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. This is a large. I think people wanted to come see this game, Renee, because 10 is kind of a max that kind of show up. We've got 5 times that. They really are excited about that game. If you guys don't know, this is Potions: A Curious Tale. This is Renee Gittins. She is the creator of this game, and it comes out tomorrow, the full game, March 7th on Steam. The link is in the description as well as on Twitter. We're going to go to the deep dark forest and check it out now. And Renee is helping out with talking about her experiences with this game, with her history and her career, as well as giving me some commentary and helping me through this game as I talk. So we talked about the art, we talked about a little bit of the history. You're helping me get through with these little fun characters. What was the hardest thing about this game? Give me top 3 things that were the hardest about getting this game done or rolled out.
I mean, I think the hardest thing about getting the game done was getting it done, honestly. Working on such a large game over a long period of time can be very very draining. It's not like someone's paying me to do this, right? I think I've put in about 10,000 hours on this game.
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. Yeah, I know that's a big number. That's about 5 years of full-time work.
Hey Siri, how many days is 10,000 hours? 416 days, Renee.
More than I've played World of Warcraft.
Why is it every guest I have has played World of Warcraft? I don't know why. We all love World of Warcraft way too much, and I'm fighting every day not to play it again.
I've actually taken inspiration for some of the boss fights from World of Warcraft raids, because I'm a big raider.
what Horde Alliance? What's your go-to?
I play a Night Elf Druid. Feral Druid.
Oh, I love Night Elf Druid, man. Oh,
yeah.
I love the Druid character. That's my favorite. I played a lot of Tauren because I'm always the big guy in things, but I am also not a heavily raider. I've done a few, like Ice Crown and whatnot, but I definitely like creating a new character every 6 months because I'm that kind of guy. But it sounds like you have raiding experience. What was your most favorite raid?
Ooh, I do definitely think it's ICC. Yeah, Ice Crown Citadel was really up there. That's Wrath of the Lich King is when I really started getting into raiding.
Yeah.
But I have ahead of the curve for most expansions. For those who don't know, ahead of the curve means that you defeated the heroic level end boss of the entire expansion before the patch after it. So before there are buffs.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. I was purely a guy saying, "Oh, let's create a new character."
Yeah, I've been the same character for 17 years, so it's
that's so cool.
And I've been in the same guild for 17 years as well. So that's actually
Are you still playing right
now? I was playing up until the end of this last raid, so right now it's sort of in between raid time. But
classic,
when it comes
retail,
back
which one?
Retail, yeah.
Retail? Yeah. In the chat, does Renee do the graphics? Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. She has got, I guess 5 to 6 people, maybe, that have done graphics with you.
Yeah, there are a lot of different people who've contributed to the graphics. So the props and environment and UI art is mostly Jake Neal, like 98% Jake Neal. The character art and animation, that has been Atlas Lynn, Roma Jensen, Wesley Eldridge, and Abby Snyder.
Okay.
But in terms of like art implementation and things like that, that was definitely me. Most of the VFX is me, and like some random things. I made the soot sprites. They're not particularly graphically intense. Those little books on the bottom of your bar I made, but for the most part, I am not artistic enough to.
What'd you build the sprite and the books in? What program, or did you hand draw them, or?
I used Photoshop. Actually, I only picked up Photoshop this last year. I had been using GIMP before that because
right.
living that indie life, anything that's free.
That is it. since I've been teaching for so many years at higher ed, it's been. Ooh, look at that! Ooh, okay, I saw another one of these somewhere else.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You
Okay.
saw
All
two
right.
of them.
Learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. The discount on Adobe has been great as an educator. But my mom is in the chat, and she is a graphic designer artist for longer than I've been alive, and so I've learned a ton of Adobe from her over the years, and I love it.
So this is interesting.
Basilisk.
Potions of Curious Tale is actually based on fairy tales and folklore from around the world.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of the main story has you interacting with creatures from folklore,
Okay.
from
Basilisk.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarves
Uh-huh.
to Sun Wukong from Journey to the West to Baba Yaga from Slavic
Oh,
legend.
no way! Wow.
Yeah. Um,
Wow.
and during doing all of this research for lore, there were so many characters I wanted to include that just would have not been actually possible. And so there are 56 collectible cards in the game, each one which
Okay.
has a lore creature from around the world. And you push it, nice. Oh,
Oh, I
oh,
missed him.
oh, so close.
I was stuck. I gotta time it right. I don't have any potions to heal. There we go. Ooh, had a hezzy right there for a second.
And it's been really fun doing that research and being
I
able
bet.
to include these characters because people respond really well. I mean, as you noticed, you dealt with Sinbad and a Kraken on your way in. That's, tales from the Middle East and from,
Right.
yeah, the Nordic area. So
Wow, I'm having a lot of fun with this game, and it's okay. I need to go, Granny. I've collected my quest items.
you can craft now, yeah.
Oh my gosh, because I need to heal. The mushroom about took me out.
Granny always heals you when you go home, so
Look at
you're
there.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
she's very sweet. Yeah.
Oh, it's the soup. It's got to be the soup that she makes. Require okay, or mana, or okay. And if okay. The feather. One air contributes 1 air mana. 2 different types of mana. Okay. If you guys are in the chat, there's we're linked. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, I know Agnad. Thank you so much for being here. If you're on Twitch or wherever you are, yeah. If you got questions about how to develop a game, if you got questions, as I have some questions about game development when it comes to the first levels, right? The first levels of especially with flow, trying to create something not too challenging but requires enough skill for you to then I'll go to Fortnite easily here is you play AI bots the first few times you go out, and that's why I create way too many new emails to play that game, so I can continually play against AI bots instead of real people. But I want to learn a little about the game development process of why you did what you did in these first 10-15 minutes of the boss fight, and learning what the keys are. What is the kind of go-to best practice, and why are these first levels the way they are?
Yeah. So from a development standpoint, there are a lot of people who say develop your tutorial last, and I think that is correct. But in practicality, you also can't because if you want to demo your game and get feedback on it, you need to have a tutorial. So what I would recommend is be okay with throwing away your tutorial multiple times.
Okay.
And that's what I did. My very first version of this game, the tutorial was one of those tutorials where you basically walk down a corridor and get instructions as you're walking down the corridor before it releases you into the game. It's not very fun. It's not very engaging, but it worked. It's better than just having a sign on the table with 20 different instructions to teach people about a complicated game. The second version of the tutorial is actually basically like the initial part of the third or fourth quest in the game, and with a sort of contrived start that's quite similar. Luna is trapped in a spider web, and in order to get out, she has to throw a potion. In throwing a damaging potion to get out of the spider web, she hurts herself and then has to heal herself. And that worked relatively well, but it didn't feel quite as epic as I wanted.
Mm,
And the reason that I also leaned into the Kraken boss fights to start the game is I wanted it to feel epic, and I also wanted it to be very informative of what type of game we're getting into. So
yeah.
it's called Potions: A Curious Tale. The game
Uh-huh.
is absolutely about potions, but it is just as much about strategy and wit and using the environment to your advantage. And so I really, really wanted to communicate that very quickly in the game. And that's why I decided to set up this Kraken fight.
Okay.
It's also a good way to, story-wise, start the introduction, right? Luna is coming to a new town. You are coming with her to the new town, so everything can be introduced.
I just guessed. I thought I was gonna get like what is this going to be kind of
So
thing, but I
you
made a
only,
healing potion.
yeah, you only get predicted results for recipes you know.
Okay.
But one of the reasons that everything is mana based is because I wanted it to feel very good to experiment. So you can just
Okay.
start slinging things together. The only rule I would suggest, and you've managed to get around this, is don't combine more than two different elements usually. There are some potions where you can work with three elements, and particularly at the beginning, you
Oh,
can get
okay.
three elements, but it's more likely to fail. So just, I mean, you can put in a third element if you want. I just wouldn't do anything that's
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So, but will it require me?
you have to have three ingredients, but you can do like
Oh,
two water, two earth,
I
something
see
like
what you're
that.
saying. Categories. My
Yeah,
fault.
yeah,
I
categories.
misunderstood. Okay.
So that now you know
So, because I
that's going
know
to be a
that one.
potion of
Okay.
healing, but you can replace.
Yeah. Let's do time. Okay, I see what you're saying. See these mushroom spores compared to they're in two different
So
categories.
yeah, they have two different types of mana.
Okay, that one gives me.
So that's where it can get
Okay.
a little complicated. But you might
Uh-huh.
want to put in like
Let's see. Yeah. What do we got?
let's see. Let's do two blueberries
Okay.
and a ash.
An ash. Okay. All right, we're going off script here, everybody. What are we getting?
I actually don't know what this. Let's see. Oh, mine comes with
Oh,
acid. There
all
we
right.
go.
You're going
Yeah.
down, rats. Brian asked, how do you maintain the original idea of the game through time, or rather, does 10 years affect the game?
Yeah. So that's a really good question. I've actually made a short video on this, but
Okay.
to summarize, when you are concepting a game, you should come up with the elevator pitch. Come up with your pitch
Okay.
for your game early, and then use that as your guiding light. It is very easy to add in additional mechanics that don't actually hearken towards your overall idea. So, for example, in Potions: A Curious Tale, I originally planned having a day-night system as well as an economy system where you opened up your
Mm-hmm.
potion shop. But that was all of a distraction from the potion adventure full of puzzle solving that I actually wanted the game to be. And while, that could have added in additional gameplay time,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would have actually added to the game itself. There would have been too much to do. It would have been, two different games sort of squashed
Mm-hmm.
together. And
Yeah.
because I had um, that concept, that elevator pitch as my guiding light, I was able to cut out those features that were not going to contribute to the core gameplay I really wanted.
Ooh, magical cards. Yes, I've unlocked magical. With the bronze card, you can ooh. Okay. Search around the farm, find Granny some stone of recall. Well, first, obviously, I have an explosion thing. I'm gonna try and destroy this rock. This is my first test, and now I just gotta know how to do that. Oh, what? Oh, wait, I don't think I recognized this place last time. This kiln type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the blacksmith.
Okay. Oh, so I can't go in there yet because I shatter easily. All right, one. And oh yeah, let's go. I thought I was gonna throw over. All right. So I'm out of that potion. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I can get something here. Oh yeah,
A lot of ash.
a lot
for
of
the
ash
blacksmith.
that has no character to them. They all died, and we've got a Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Ooh. So there's how many of these cards?
56.
56. That's actually how many viewers we have right now. Hello, 56 viewers.
Oh,
How
look at that! A
crazy.
card for each of you. Some of them are easier to get.
Uh-huh.
Blasting through a rock and grabbing one is
Okay.
easier. Some of them are behind
Oh,
really
okay.
complicated puzzles.
Oh, puzzles.
Some
This
of them
is
are kind of hidden secrets. You've
exciting.
actually seen one of them, but
Okay.
it's
Okay.
actually one of the gold cards, so that is a lot harder to figure out how to acquire. The
So,
rarest type.
okay. Now, I know I saw. I'm having way too much fun, everybody. I'm so sorry. If you're watching, this is great. Feel free to ask ask a question. Your name will pop up. Okay. Wait. Did I have a key?
You had a gold, or you had a bronze card.
Okay,
So
so
those
that's
are
my
those are
ticket to
card
ride.
gates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I get apples?
Later you can, not in the
Okay.
demo.
Oh, there's a wall there. Oh my gosh, there's a tunnel. I am the kind of explorer. I just played last February. I played Hogwarts Legacy, and I looked on every nook and cranny for everything. I am that person that goes everywhere.
It's definitely the game that encourages that, right?
That's great. Oh my. Okay, so wow, look at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ella. Thanks for being here on Kick. Yeah, we're great. We're having fun. We're playing potions. A Curious Tale. If you're over on Kick, you can find it on Steam. I don't have the link to it there on Kick because Kick is not as friendly with sometimes finding all the games. But hey, Twitch did have your game as an option to pick.
It
Renee,
does,
which
yeah.
is
YouTube
awesome.
and Twitch recognize it at least.
Yes.
I'll have to see if I can make Kick recognize it. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's
Kyle says, "You mean Revelio Legacy? Did you play Hogwarts Legacy at all, Renee?"
I did.
Yeah, Revelio. My kids started playing it a few weeks ago, and basically they just walk around the house saying Revelio because that's all we do.
So, I'm looking at my desktop. One of the only icons that's on my desktop is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets PC game, which is one of my favorite games of all time.
Wow.
And so for people who don't know this, if you played Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and you think you've played this game, if you haven't played it on PC, you haven't, because they hired a different studio for every platform, and they all have the same covers. So the GameCube game is not the same as the PC game. They're completely different games by different studios.
Okay.
I love the level design in that game. I find it like so compelling and powerful. It has secret hidden areas, like interesting interactions. Actually, a lot of the puzzle design that is in Potions was inspired by me playing this game. And I had to like really hack this game to get it working on a modern computer. But it is one of the few games I always have installed because I do find it so inspiring.
So cool.
And
go ahead.
This, like 2 years ago, one of my oldest game industry friends and I were talking at a game industry meetup, and I mentioned how much I enjoyed that game and how much I loved it. And he said, "Did you know I was the game director?"
No way.
I had no clue. So it was really neat to know that one of my friends is created something that impacted my idea of game design so much.
Ooh. Boom! Get wrecked. Yes, it worked. Oh, the Stone of Recall. Okay, so I didn't have a way to lure him into fire, but I used my potion of acid that time.
You do,
I knew it was going to be helpful.
You do have to occasionally be aggressive, not too frequently. But I wanted to make sure that players knew.
What is the? I don't really want to find. Oh, I got a red book, by the way. Oh, that's the red book.
I feel like I had to pay the cat tax since I was being visited.
Hey, who's this? Who's this?
This is Fiddle.
Let's take a look here. Fiddle. Let's get a close up there. Fiddle. Hello, Fiddle.
He is not happy with this. So actually one of the difficulties of this past month has been I had 2 cats. And my half Maine Coon named Calcifer, who would sleep on my lap all day when I was working and sleep with me all night and follow me around my little shadow. At the very start of the year, he was diagnosed with a very aggressive cancer, and I lost him
sorry.
exactly a month ago. So certainly pushing through the end of development of the game,
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
with dealing with both his health issues and his loss. Quite
Yeah.
challenging. But he is actually the inspiration for Helios, the cat in the game.
Oh,
And
okay.
once you recruit Helios, when you're in
Uh-huh.
town, you can pet him. So if anyone plays, please pet Helios for me.
Okay, yes. I saw that one of the little pop-ups on your TikToks. It's like, yes, you can pet the cat.
You can pet the cat.
You
You
can
can
pet
pet
the
the cat, and you get an achievement for it. So
Oh, okay, there we go. In Steam or in the game?
in Steam,
In Steam.
Yeah,
Man,
I think there's 19 achievements that are hooked up. So
there is so much that goes into this. I'm trying to think, what is the conversation with Steam, or is there paperwork on to get those achievements in there? How does that work?
No,
Fill
yeah.
us
So
in.
Steam is very straightforward when it comes to achievements and implementation. And so unlike other platforms, so if you're trying to figure out how to set up these things on consoles or
Okay.
what you can do, all of that stuff's behind NDA. You can't actually see it. Uh,
Oh,
any person right now can go look at Steam's documentation
mm-hmm.
of how developers set up achievements, the requirements behind it, all that information. It's all easily accessible. So if you have any questions about how Steam sets up things, if you're looking to get into game development,
Mm-hmm.
you can just go read their documentation right now.
Interesting. Huh.
And I'd recommend doing it if you're interested in game development, because
Yeah.
it's not the same as consoles, but it gives you
Okay.
a lot of like base understanding of APIs that platforms use.
That's good to know. I would love to. I've made a game in Roblox, 2 games in Roblox that are just purely, just kind of path forward, kind of jump over things, and kind of like a hangout area. And that's really the most I've done, and tried Unreal in Unity. What was this game? Is there a code you were building this in? What particular platform?
Yeah, so this is a Unity game,
Mm-hmm.
which means it was built in C#. And
Okay.
then I used a few additional tools. I've used Wise for audio, Spine from Esoteric Software for the character
Wow.
animations, which allows you to do bones and mes- mesh deformation on
Okay.
2D assets, which allows them to look a lot more realistic without having to do frame by frame. And then I've used Rewired for controller input. So I don't know if you know this, it has
Mm.
full controller support, full Steam Deck
This
support as
does?
well. Yeah.
Nice.
All you have to do is pick up a controller too. There's
Yeah.
no like mucking with settings. It just auto
That's good.
switches, like all
That's
the
good.
buttons come up. And then as soon as you touch your mouse again, it switches back over.
That's very. Look at that. It's like you. It's like you know this industry and you know what people want. It's like you've heard this over and over.
And it's also one of the reasons why playtesting is important, right?
Yeah.
Like
How'd that go?
you get
What
feedback.
was that like?
It's been great. I find that one of my favorite things that I get out of going to conventions and showing my demo at conventions is seeing firsthand player interaction and feedback. I have a Discord server, so I get a lot
Oh.
of messages and feedback through the Discord server. But nothing beats looking at people engaging with your game in person
Uh-huh.
and seeing when they look confused or when they laugh or when they're scared, and then adjusting the game to really help them out or inspire those emotions even further.
Okay, so I'm crafting some more potions here. I want to get. I need to do. I got heal. I got a actual quest here to do. Betty bomb. 2 minor healing potions. So pin. I like that I can pin. I like that it tells me. So it's not. It's really just one of each of these categories. It doesn't have to be something specific.
Correct. There's
Okay.
some potions that require specific ingredients, but they are more rare. That has 2 mana values, so you'll want to replace that with the feather.
Oh, okay. I see. Here.
There you go. And if you hit the up button,
look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. Thanks.
yeah.
So yeah, 60 people here in the chat. You guys all over. We're on Kick, we're on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. Thank you guys for being here. So many people seeing this amazing game. If you want to know more about this game, or you want to play the demo today, you can go to Steam. The link is in the comments. If you're somewhere where you don't see the comments, go to Steam and go search Potions: A Curious Tale, or just go to Google, type it in. It's the only one there because it's a hot game right now, and I want you guys to check it out because tomorrow this full game comes out. And I love that if you weren't here earlier, if you play the demo today, then you get the real game tomorrow for $19.99, $98.99.
1999 plus a 15% discount, so it'll be cheaper than that. Yeah.
So
only for the first 2 weeks, so you gotta get it early.
Okay. And all your stuff will carry over, all your achievements, all your potion making, all your levels, everything. I love that. I know we only have like 5 minutes left, so I want to make sure I want to get out of here. I want to show people all the amazing stuff that's happening, and please go check out Potions: A Curious Tale. I want to give you, Renee, this last 60 seconds kind of hot seat of anything you want to say, where to follow, where to get repeat what I said or whatever. Follow on social, talk about the game, but I'm going to give you the full 60 seconds of the last part of the show to say whatever you want and give you the time. So the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate all the support. And if this seems like an interesting game to you, if you like using your wits and combat not always being the answer, then please check out Potions. Like I said, the demo's free, so you can play 2 or 3 hours of the game completely for free. Your saves will work. That's Potions: A Curious Tale on Steam. If you're interested in my career history, the information I share, you can find me on all platforms, pretty much as RikuKat, RIKUKAT. Though you can find me just as Renee Gittins on YouTube, and that's actually where I have a ton of development videos. I have more technically complex videos targeted at professional game developers, and then I actually have a new series I've started called Pixels and Dreams, Weaving the Magic of Games, targeted at tweens and getting them into game development. Oh, I heard the gas.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got 3 boys. I got a 14, 12, and 8-year-old. So yes, please. I will be listening in.
Yeah, I talk about disciplines in the game development industry. Coming up, that's actually where I came up with the talk around developing the concept of your game, coming up with your elevator pitch and how to go about that. I also have an entire episode on rubber ducks. Are you familiar with rubber ducks in software development?
No, only from what the Sesame Street taught me about rubber ducky. No, what is?
It's the concept of talking through your problems can help you find the solution. So a lot of times, like when someone has a problem and they start explaining it to somebody else, they find the solution before the other person even responds. And so many programmers keep a rubber duck, or I keep Unikitty on my desk. And if I have a problem, I tell Unikitty about my problem before I tell anyone else, because a lot of times earnestly explaining my problem to Unikitty helps me find the solution before I go for more help.
Wow. Man, I'm probably not going to do much work today because I'll be playing this game more than likely, and being excited for tomorrow for the release of this. Renee, thank you so much for just the years and years of dedication to our industry, and thanks for spending so many years making this incredible game. I'm having way too much fun. I don't know what I got on my schedule today, but it's not going to be anything else except the game probably. So sorry, who else needs me? If you want to find me, I'll be in Potions: A Curious Tale playing today.
I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to close down the show. Feel free to stick around in the control room, and I'll come chat at you when I'm done shutting down the show.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks. Everybody, thank you so much for being here today. I am seriously probably going to be playing this game. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what else is going on in the world. If you are wanting to check this game out, please go to Steam, do Potions: A Curious Tale. This has been a special episode of Invite Sent, different from what you're used to of us playing a game with someone. We actually had the creator of the game here today, and so many people, over 60 people. If you want to come back, we'll have another Invite Sent on Friday at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. We'll be playing some games with Zach T. We try to have these games, these shows on Wednesday mornings and Friday afternoons. And then I have another show that'll be next Thursday, the Rave Esports Show, where you can check in. We're going to be visiting the Army West Point Esports Arena and checking out their stuff there that they've got done with Extron. But wow, so incredibly encouraged that you guys came here to watch this amazing game. I'm excited about playing some more. I hope you do too. Check it out March 7th, tomorrow on Steam. There'll be some more links in the chat. I'll put some more stuff in post. But everyone, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Stay amazing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hello there, gamers and mental health enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking study that explores the intersection of scholarly gaming and mental health education, and how it can impact the self-esteem of adolescents. Picture this: a world where scholarly gaming isn't just about mastering technology-based career skills or dominating the world of video game business. No, it's a world where gaming becomes a gateway to improving mental health. 3 visionary educators and a school-based health intervention expert came together to create a curriculum that aligns with academic guidelines from the International Society for Technology Education. This curriculum spans 40 lessons, delivered over 14 weeks with a minimum of 120 minutes per week. But here's the twist: 83 schools were invited to participate, but they were divided into 2 groups, those with mental health moments and those without. The non-mental health moment group got the scholarly gaming curriculum alone, while the mental health moment group got an extra layer of education. Mental health moments were embedded into 27 lessons, integrating concepts from the PERMA framework and the collaborative academic, social, and emotional learning standards, otherwise known as CASEL. Now, let's meet our players. 471 participants from both groups, with almost 75% in high school, many experiencing scholarly gaming for the first time. A majority were male, and the racial diversity was broad. At the start, the average self-esteem score was 17.9, with 22.1% reporting low self-esteem. But hold on, the game's just beginning. As the study progressed, it revealed some fascinating results. While 57.7% of participants with low self-esteem at the beginning reported average self-esteem post-intervention, the mental health moments group stole the spotlight. Self-esteem scores improved by 8.3% in the mental health moments group, compared to no change in the non-mental health moments group. How's that for a power-up? Some students even shifted from abnormally low self-esteem scores to normal ranges. The message is loud and clear. Educators, healthcare providers, and adolescent advocates pay attention. Non-traditional educational instructions, like scholarly gaming, combined with mental health moments, can significantly improve students' well-being. And there you have it, a journey through the power of scholarly gaming and mental health moments. Remember, your self-esteem matters, and sometimes, all it takes is a little extra support to level up. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep gaming, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Making history at CECC. And there it is! Both platforms online and dip. We'll take it home. What a game.
Take a victory lap, take a bow, and take the headsets off and start to yell.
Life is busy. Every day we ask questions like, what's happening today? What should I wear? How am I going to fit everything in? But then there are bigger questions like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Where am I heading? Is there more to life than this? These are some of life's big questions, but there's rarely enough time to think them through. That's why Alpha exists. Alpha is a place to explore life's big questions in a safe and open environment. It's a series of sessions where anyone can share their thoughts and opinions and ask questions without feeling judged. When you come to an Alpha, you'll notice that first, there's food. Whether it's a full meal or a light snack, this is the time to get to know each other in a casual setting. Next, you'll watch an alpha talk. The talks are created to engage and spark conversation. They explore big issues around faith from a Christian perspective. After the talk is a time for discussion. This is the most essential part of any alpha. It allows everyone to share their own opinions on the ideas presented in the talks. It's a time for people with different thoughts, beliefs, and experiences to ask honest questions and have open conversation. Every week, there are guests coming for the first time to an alpha in their community. Alpha is for everyone, regardless of background or beliefs. There's no pressure, no follow-up, and it's completely free to attend. Come and explore life's big questions. Find an alpha near you today.